what doesn't work in our counties. I have the advantage of having been governor the first term, being out and coming to a county. I know what worked for me, and I also know what doesn't appear to work as I come back. If there are things that can bring down counties, it's probably what we're going to discuss in this retreat. Management of finances, with respect to issues to do with payments and accounting, management of finances with respect to procurement, and also the management of our human resource. We have serious issues in most of the counties in these areas. And to the extent that the platform that we use is the same, the software that we use, even our budget has to be uploaded in IFMIS at Treasury before you can procure anything. The authorization to release money from the CRF to go into the operational accounts and the development accounts is standard for all of us, and has to be done with the permission of the control of budgets. We all go through audits. When the system collapses, is it only the governor and his team that collapsed it? Or also these oversight authorities, of course they're all represented here, Treasury, the control of budgets. I'm hoping also the Auditor General is here. I'm hoping PPARA is here. So I think these are things we need to really discuss. We are dealing with serious inherited problems in most of the counties as we start. And I don't want to envy the new governors who are doing this for the first time, frankly. So this is an opportunity to clarify all these things, to discuss in a frank manner what it is that we're dealing with. How did we get there in most of these counties? What are the options for us to get out of the situation that we find ourselves in? Also, it's an opportunity to ventilate on constitutionalism with respect to financial management. The famous Article 6.2 of the Constitution that says we are distinct governments, are the national and counties. These are distinct governments that are interdependent. And for the devolved functions, we must be the ones implementing, whereas national government sets the policies. There's still a lot of implementation that happens at national government. The issues to do with conditional grants, you're aware. The issues to do with equalization fund for the counties that participate in that fund. So I think this will give us an opportunity to discuss all these things, to agree on a way forward, to see how to best work together, respecting the Constitution and the laws that govern devolution. With those many words, may I now then invite our Chair of the Council of Governors to make her remarks. Madam Chair, ama nimechukua kazi yako?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Just before we invite our chairperson, we have our sponsors. We want to thank UNDP, UN Women, and UNICEF for supporting this particular retreat. Excellency Governor, as you know, everything is well taken care of here. That has happened because of UNDP, UN Women, and UNICEF. And on behalf of that entire team, we will invite Mandisa Mashologu, who is representing the UNDP resident representative, and she will talk on behalf of our entire team of sponsors. But take note, we appreciate the support that you have given us in sponsoring this retreat. Karibu sana, Mandisa.
Your Excellency, Chairperson of the Council of Governors, Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors present, National Treasury and Planning, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, the Controller of Budget Office, the Auditor General's Office, Council of Governors Office, Madam Mary Mwiti, my sister UN agency colleagues here present, UN Women, UNICEF, and UNDP. Good morning. First of all, I would like to say we fully appreciate being here with you as partners. We are not sponsors. We are partners, and we've endured this journey and support of devolution in Kenya from the very inception, and we are proud partners with the Council of Governors and will continue to do so as long as you let us engage and we are providing the much added value or need that is relevant to you to be able to engage with your citizens. But first of all, I would just like to say congratulations to the governors and deputy governors on your election, and we all note the important time this is for Kenya. We were privileged to attend the induction conference that was held in Mombasa. And I think one of the critical things was the promotion of service delivery and ensuring that with the journey that has been taken so far, priority will make sure that the counties are able to function to serve their respective citizenry. So we feel proud to be working with the Council of Governors and having organized this public financial management and human resources induction, because we know it's an important area where you felt a need, and we would like to be able to respond as quickly as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, just to say our partnership with the Council of Governors has been quite strategic, and currently we are managing this wonderful relationship through our Consolidating Gains and Deepening Devolution project in Kenya, which is a joint Government of Kenya UN devolution program, which is also undertaken in partnership with the governments of Sweden, Government of Finland, and the Government of Italy. So we fully appreciate that partnership in helping us to work alongside with you at a technical level in the areas of need. We've had a long-standing relationship and history in devolution, and we are privileged to have supported the formulation of the new constitution through the Committee of Experts, and following the adoption of the new constitution, the Task Force on Devolution, which you will recall developed the Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012 that established the Council. So it's by no mean feat that we're here today, because we believe we have a true partnership with the Council of Governors, including during its critical first years, and with the success that the whole team under the Council of Governors has put together to reach to where we are today. This program will also be working with key partners, and I acknowledge the wonderful PFM actors, Treasury, the Commission of Revenue Allocation, Controller of Budget, and the Auditor General, because we've had some programmatic interventions over the past few years under our joint program, in which we've seen improvements in county-owned resource revenue through the partnership with the Commission of Revenue Allocation. We have seen county audit results having improved with the partnership through the Office of the Auditor General. We've seen improved gender, youth, and climate change fiscal analysis and budget oversight in the executive and with the county assemblies. The Standard Chart of Accounts was revised to facilitate analytical reporting on allocation and expenditure on climate change, child protection, women's empowerment, persons with disabilities, and HIV and AIDS, amongst others. The development of the Controller of Budget Management Information System, which will be rolled out to counties to enhance gathering, synthesis, and reporting of budget execution. I note that the Vice Chair had already outlined the important objectives of this induction. But I think just to say, for us, we also see it, the ultimate objective is to ensure that the counties are better equipped for service delivery for the people of Kenya. For us as UNDP, as the lead UN development agency, supporting the next generation of devolution is a critical pathway for transforming service delivery and realizing inclusive, sustainable development. We as a UN family in Kenya have recently launched and signed our Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, and we're looking to have engagement, further engagement with you as governors, as deputy governors. We were also with their county assemblies last week to really hear from you what the critical issues are and how we can support. We know that resources are limited, so we will have to prioritize, we'll have to focus, and we're not raising expectations because, as stated, we're not a donor, we're not a funder, but we're able to work very well with development partners who are also here in Kenya to see how we can collectively come up with a new program that can effectively support you. So sorry I spoke for a bit of a long time to MC, but I think I truly wanted to clarify that we are partners in this journey together and will remain as partners as long as you will have us, and we're very proud to continue working with you. Asante sana.
Thank you, Mandisa, for that clarification. It's apt that you're not sponsors, but partners, right? I hope you don't mind us calling you sponsoring partners. All right. May I then now invite the chair of the council, Governor of Kirinyaga, Anne Waiguru, to give her official opening remarks for this retreat. Simpigie chair makofi hata nyinyi. Madam Chair.
Fellow Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors present, representatives from the National Treasury, Dr. Jane Kiringai, Chairperson of Kenya Commission on Revenue Allocation, CPA Dr. Margaret Nyakango, Controller of Budget, UNDP Resident Representative, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I take this opportunity to appreciate your commitment to be here for this retreat, despite your very busy schedule. I believe this will be an opportunity for us to learn and share best practices in line with the theme, public finance, procurement, and human resource management in counties, what works. This retreat will focus on 3 thematic areas, which is the public finance, procurement, and human resource management. It is incumbent upon us to fully understand the existing challenges and opportunities in order to effectively discharge our mandate as county governments. It is our core responsibility to ensure efficient and effective service delivery to all our citizens. Fellow Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors, it is a great honor to have these key institutions here with us today. We cannot fail to recognize their efforts in supporting devolution since the inception of county governments from 2013 to date. This retreat will be a platform to learn from each other, share best practices, and enhance our knowledge for smooth and seamless execution of our distinct but complementary roles. To my fellow brothers and sisters, I wish to echo John F. Kennedy, who rightly said that learning and leadership are indispensable to each other. For as long as you're a leader, to be a good and effective leader, we have to continue learning. I therefore urge that we all remain committed to learn during this 3-day retreat so that we can make devolution work more effectively and better for the benefit of the people of Kenya. As I conclude, I take this opportunity to thank the Council of Governors Secretariat for organizing this retreat on a very short notice. As you recall, this is one of the resolutions that emanated from the recently concluded induction workshop for the governors and deputy governors that was in Mombasa. Allow me also to thank development partners for their unwavering support and for making the retreat that we had a success and for also making this retreat a reality. We commit to work together towards the achievement of the devolution dream. Lastly, I note that moving forward, the Council of Governors will continue to bolster and strengthen the existing partnerships and engagements with government agencies present here today, as well as development partners and other key stakeholders with a view to work harmoniously as devolution family. With these few remarks, I wish all of us a fruitful and successful retreat, and thank you and God bless you all. Since I have the mic, I will take the opportunity to just say one thing that I know that we would want to see in this retreat, and that's what we discussed the other time, that this retreat needs to be more interactive than the sessions that we had in Mombasa, so that governors and deputy governors can ask questions of practical things that they are dealing with to be able to improve. Because if we do just normal presentations that are in the Constitution and the law, telling you what the law says, it may not address certain challenges that we have. One of the issues that we were discussing with the Vice Chair, and that affects most of our counties, for example, is pending bills. So if you tell me that a pending bill needs to be paid, that's not sufficient. But for us to be able to interrogate those pending bills, what if this is the conversation, I'm giving an example of a conversation that we may want to have. What if I dispute, because like Kirinyaga County disputed the original pending bills list, it was close to $1 billion. We came down to 700, we still disputed up to 500. So we've been paying the 520 something on a yearly basis, every year 100 million. What happens to the other pending bills that we disputed that I am not comfortable to pay as governor? And I find them maybe questionable or maybe do not have the requisite action according to the governor. Those kind of questions would need to be addressed. On PPP, for example, I've seen this PPP. Kirinyaga County made a presentation on PPP. We followed the law to the end. We gave 5 proposals, it got to Treasury, and it died. So those kind of, the conversation that we want to hear today from the National Treasury, from CRA, is the practical things that we are dealing with as governors so that we can be able to make devolution work better for us and find ourselves in less problems. The final one is on the auditor. I've just gone through my risk audit assessment. What they do for governors, and the media loves this, let's say, for example, you are collecting revenue and you've collected 380 million shillings, and there is a questionable revenue of 1 million. The audit paragraph in bold says unaccounted for revenue of 386 million ATC. That is the title. But when you read the body, the amount of money that they're questioning is only 1 million. Now, the media, when we go to Senate, the media picks that, because that's what is written in the book, the newspapers, and then the governors have a very bad reputation. And I will say this because many new governors may not know. Sometimes you get those kind of things when you wake up in the morning and find them in the newspapers. So is there a way that we can be a little bit more factual in the way we report or we write the audit query, so that you ask the question about the amount of money, not the entire budget sum, while you're asking just about one specific item? I think from where I sit, some suggestions of conversations that I would want to hear, which are practical, but I'm sure every governor who's here has things that they want to hear from the teams that are here. So let me say welcome once again, and thank you for making the time to be here, and also to the Excellency Governors. I wish you all a very fruitful retreat. Asanteni.
Thank you very much, our chairperson. I think we are all guided that we want to have more of interaction, and we all agreed that the various presenters will not be presenting exactly the same thing they presented in Mombasa. We want to have more of interaction. Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors and participants, we are done with the closing session. The next opening, sorry. I'm already on tomorrow. With the opening session, I don't think that we have properly earned our tea break. We are suggesting that we proceed, at least do one session, then we can have the health break after that session. I am sure Governor Kericho was just stepped in and had the last paragraph of the chairperson's address. He has not earned his tea. So let's proceed to the first session on county budgeting, financing, reporting, and audit. And I want to invite the one and only Regina Obam, our moderator, to come and proceed. She did a wonderful job in Mombasa. We hope you will do the same here. I'm sure are you sure that is okay with you? Okay. You are going to be with us for a very long while. You did a wonderful job in Mombasa. We hope that you will do the same here. So let's proceed to this particular session. Then after the first session, we will then have our health break. We will also have our group photo. So karibuni sana, and therefore proceed, our moderator.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Since we are in class, I'll start by saying good morning, class. Good morning, class. Okay, so I will ask the session team that is to come up to the podium, and as they come up, that is Mr. Mwenda, Jane, and Margaret, and whoever is also representing the Auditor General. Sorry, I didn't get your name. Forgive me for that. And as they come, I think this is really a special class in itself. Normally, when students go through a session, it is very rare to get the students asking for the lecturers to come back to clarify some things for them. So please give yourselves a round of applause for actually asking for this session. You're not clapping for yourselves like you really want to get the A in this class. Can we do it the CBC way? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You guys have already earned the A even before we get started. Now, I want to start this session in a very interesting way. When For those who read the Sunday Nation, there was an article by Tom Mushindi where he was saying, stop starving counties of funds to make them look pathetic. That counties are starved of funds so that they're actually looking pathetic. And in his piece in the paper, the big question and the big issue that Tom Mushindi brought out was the issue of unpredictable and delays in disbursements of funds to the counties. He mentioned that counties need funds to function. Now, when these disbursements are delayed, then counties really, really look pathetic. So I want to throw this to the governors here to really tell us their experiences, how these delays in disbursements actually affect their functions, including those who have just come in and they have to set up task forces to get to know what has been happening. I would really want us to ask to give us those instances so that the panel here listens in to what the governors are saying, and then from there, I will ask the panelists to react to those concerns. Going once, going twice, so I will go this way, start with this group here, then we move to this group here, then we move to this group here. Migori, I see your hand is raised.
Well, thank you very much, moderator, and thanks to the professors who will teach us today. I call them professors because I believe they profess practical knowledge in what we seek to know. My brief experience as a governor in Migori is not quite about exchequer releases. I'm yet to gather enough experience in that, but it's on requisitions, particularly on matters relating to interest. As a governor and my officers, we may want to undertake activities that have to be undertaken at a fast pace, requiring $1 million or $2 million, or thereabouts for my office and other related offices. My chief finance officer tells me that she has to make requisitions, and that these requisitions have to be based on interest that is given to individual officers, even for departments. If it is agriculture, there may be many activities. You have to name 10 people in agriculture, give the individuals money, and make them responsible for it. The problems that we experience are twofold. One, these individuals that are named or are given the interest may not be necessarily the people responsible for the job to be done. The monies are sent to the accounts, and the work is supposed to be done for the department. Previously, I'm told that the monies would be sent to the departmental accounts, and the people responsible for them would account for them. So why is it that the controller of budget has generated these requirements that make departmental pace in terms of implementing the objectives dependent upon monies wired to individual accounts, the accountability of these individuals, as opposed to the accountability collectively of a department, because we eventually get audited? Why do we have to depend on an officer somewhere? A boss has sent money to that officer, then that officer may be unwell, that account may be why is it not sent to the departmental account? Then the other vertical and horizontal institutions auditing or checking would be available to do their work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Homabe?
Thank you. Thank you, Regina, and thanks to the panel and to the Council for organizing this very important forum. I wanted to raise an issue on this process of requisition of funds. We're like monos in in Form 1. Now we are told there is a process of going to bring money from Nairobi. The officers go to Nairobi to go and bring money or go and get money. But what is concerning is that there are many things on this internet banking platform and then we are told that some things can be on the internet banking platform and they are used to actually get approvals from the controller of budget, for purposes of payments. But there's actually a way that those things that are approved, the payments that are made can be of totally different items from what was received as approvals from the controller of budget. So you find that budget lines are exhausted, but those debts still exist. For example, you find that money was requisitioned to pay KEMSA, for example. That is exhausted, but that was not paid to the places where. How foolproof is that system? And does the controller of budget have a way of confirming that what was approved by her office is what was paid at the end of the day, so that we don't have a situation where what is approved and what is paid are totally different things? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move to the middle section. I'll take 222, and then we get responses. So if there's any...
I think mine is dead. Is it okay? May need now another seminar for these things. Now, okay. Thank you very much. I want to focus on delay of disbursement, which are occasioned by Treasury in most cases. Sometimes there may be also some issues at the COB. And one of the things that, one of the challenges is that counties run into debt. For example, some of the pending bills are caused by delay of disbursement. The second one is that there is disenfranchisement. Really, the staff, when you can't pay them in time, there is already morale. Their morale goes down. At the same time, it also has a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to a political career when you are considered to be a county that does not pay, especially for salaries. The third thing we have observed is that you end up having a problem even with the providers. You realize that even in an emergency, you're going to lose lives in a hospital because KEMSA will not trust you. They have, you stretch them to their limits. Sometimes you also realize that the contractors, the service providers, everybody, when they just blacklist you, and